Today, I'm covering two stories regarding big tech layoffs, those at Meta and Twitter. I'm Michele Carroll. Welcome to the News Diet, where I give you to-the-point news Monday through Thursday. Facebook parent company Meta is apparently planning to announce mass layoffs this week, according to the Wall Street Journal. The layoffs are expected to be up to the thousands among its workforce of currently 87,000 employees. Apparently, these will be the first major reductions in the company's 18-year history. It was reported in September that Meta was planning to cut expenses by 10%, and CEO Mark Zuckerberg alluded to some staff reductions on the earnings call at the end of October by saying, quote, "In aggregate, we expect to end 2023 as either roughly the same size or even a slightly smaller organization than we are today." He even said in June, quote, "Realistically, there are probably a bunch of people at the company who shouldn't be here. By how much they plan to let go is still unknown." The news of a downsize comes after a hiring spree by many big tech companies throughout the pandemic, when people all over the world were relying on technology unlike ever before. Meta added more than 27,000 employees over 2020 and 2021, and an additional 15,344 in the first 3 quarters of this year. Now, Meta has undergone some massive changes over this time. You'll recall that about this time last year, the company announced that Facebook was now just one product under the new Meta parent company. This move came after the Facebook brand received increased scrutiny over security issues regarding users' personal information and ethical issues over its impact on youth, as well as its lack of response to human and drug traffickers on the platform, as shown by whistleblower Frances Hogan, coincidentally right before the company's restructuring. The restructuring put a new major focus on a division called Reality Labs, which is where the company's AI and augmented reality efforts are, bringing to light its massive bet on the metaverse, which is a virtual world where, in theory, we would all be able to interact with each other digitally for real-world activities like working or shopping. The company has already invested $15 billion into this initiative, starting at the beginning of last year, which is a huge amount for an unproven technology. However, these investments have yet to garner positive results. Its own virtual reality platform called Horizon Worlds currently has less than 200,000 users. And as a result of the massive spending and subpar results, investors are starting to lose confidence. Meta's stock has completely plummeted since its peak in September of 2021, when its stock price was $382. As of last week, only 14 months later, and it's now just over $90. So the company is likely facing a lot of pressure to show stakeholders what they're doing to try to make things right, whether you agree with how they're doing it or not. Before moving on to the next story, I just want to ask if you can hit that subscribe button so you can continue to get notifications on new episodes and follow along as the news diet grows. In a similar yet different story regarding big tech layoffs, Twitter has begun its own massive workforce reduction, as well as other major changes in only a week into the Elon Musk era. First, the layoffs. When news of Musk taking over Twitter was looking to become more of a reality, the word spread pretty quickly that he intended to downsize the company significantly, and those rumors turned out to be true. On Friday, about half of the company's 7,500 employees were let go. As you can imagine, this created quite a chaotic day as the laid-off employees and critics reamed his decision. Ironically, many of these criticisms unfolding on Twitter. Musk and these layoffs are being called heartless and maybe even illegal, with some former workers already planning to sue. But Musk has responded by saying that he had no choice, revealing that the company was losing more than $4 million a day at its current way of operating. He also said back in May that he would want to focus more on actual engineers and designers as opposed to managerial roles, saying, quote, "There seem to be 10 people managing for every 1 person coding." Original co-founder Jack Dorsey even admitted the company grew bigger than it should have, tweeting, quote, "I own the responsibility for why everyone is in this situation. I grew the company size too quickly. I apologize for that." So Elon's reasoning is apparently the company was spending way more money than it was bringing in. So while his solution for cutting spending was to get rid of about half the payroll, he's also started unfolding plans to bring in more revenue. The big one that got a lot of users up in arms is the plan to start charging verified users. If you don't know, verified users or blue checkmark users is a specific status that some receive that prove that the person is who they say they are and not an impersonator. This status is reserved for mostly public figures. Over time, it's become known as a, status symbol, a sought-after badge that indicates that the user is likely someone of stature. Elon's plan is to charge anyone who wants this status $8 a month to be able to use it. And this announcement has set off a chaotic back and forth between those for the idea and those against it. Those for it say that verified users reap big benefits from having the blue checkmark, claiming it can provide attention and opportunities harder to get without it. In other words, people take you more seriously with one. They say it makes sense that this privilege comes at a cost. Supporters also point to Twitter's vague requirements for obtaining verified status. You have to prove you're worthy of the badge, so there is an approval process, but it's not incredibly clear what it is. And Twitter has before paused the process temporarily for internal reasons, so uncontrollable glitches like that make it hard for users to know when and how they can apply for this benefit. Musk even seemingly confirmed that some employees had sold verifications for upwards of $15,000 in under-the-table deals. In other words, up to now, it's been really opaque and possibly even corrupt process. But then on the other side, you have critics who say that by opening up this exclusive status, you diminish the quality of information that users will read. Journalists have claimed that this will hurt the profession, since in theory, users won't have an easy way of distinguishing professional journalists from others now. Some have also claimed that it's the caliber of journalists, writers, and other public figures that have brought the value to Twitter, making it the popular platform that it is, so charging them doesn't make sense. As a prank, yesterday, several celebrities changed their profile names to Elon Musk and started posting as if they were him, trying to prove a point that it would make for a messy way to know who is who. Almost immediately, Musk announced a no impersonating rule unless you specifically label your account as a parody account. There's also overall concerns about the dissemination of disinformation and a potential rise in hate speech, considering that Musk's goal here is to pursue a purely free speech platform. Twitter has agreed to hold off on these changes until after the midterm elections this week, so as to avoid any accusations of election interference, considering social media has been such an influence over elections in the past. Elon has only been the head of the company for a little over a week, and already so many decisions have been made and even more questions have arisen. This company is transforming in real time, so more information is coming out every day. You've just been informed, so now it's time to get on with your day. I'm Michele Carroll. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode and want to continue following a healthier alternative for staying informed, where I forgo partisan fighting and fear-driven narratives and just get to the point, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button, as of course you'll get more of this show in your feed, and also you'll be helping this new channel grow and reject sensational media. Thank you so much for your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.